We continue. The title Fire and Ash seems to speak to an amped up emotional intensity. The Solis were left devastated by the Way of Water's final act. The exact quote, which is in the voiceover, is the fire of hate gives way to the ash of grief.
Wow.
Wow, that's a great line. So we'll come back to that. I think what commercial Hollywood doesn't do well is deal with grief the way human beings really deal with it. Characters
True.
get killed off, and then in the next movie, everybody's happy again. I've lost a lot of people, friends, and family members over the last 6 or 8 years. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work that way. It also doesn't make you so mad that you're going to become an army of one and gun up and kill all those motherfuckers. Pardon my French. Which is another Hollywood trope. It makes you just kind of depressed and messed up. I'm not saying our movie's depressed and effed up. I'm just saying that I think we deal with that part of life quite honestly. The Sully's journey continues in a very naturalistic, novelistic way. I've sort of thought of this next cycle, meaning 3, 4, and 5, as how they continue to process the things that happen to them. Now, of course, they're not human, but this is a movie for us, by us, right? Science fiction is always just a big mirror of the human condition. What are your
Well,
first thoughts?
they may not be human, but they're very very emotional beings as well. So I think in many ways they're reflections of us.
Exactly. That's exactly what he seems like he's trying to say, and that's what a lot of sci-fi is. It's just a big mirror to just natural, human elements that we deal with on a day to day, just on
Yeah.
this other scale that makes it seem, you know, uh, like out there, but it's really not when you really get to the basis of it. So I love, once again, he's just saying like everything I really want to hear in terms of like he's saying here with the characters and the Solis journey. They just literally lost a child. That's something that's going to
Mhm.
carry over 3, 4, and 5, and I feel we're gonna lose even more. Is what I really feel like is gonna happen here as
Oh, for
well.
sure. Yeah.
He says the line, characters get killed off. So could happen. I mean, obviously he was talking about like in normal Hollywood, but I think it's not just gonna be
Well,
loss that we're gonna feel. So
I think he's really trying to say that grief is taking a center stage.
mhm,
And although, the loss of Nateum is incredibly significant for many characters, I think the way that he's talking about it is pointing to something even more significant, which is the loss of more bigger characters or important characters,
yeah,
or maybe uh, their companions, like animals or something like that, or homes. You can grieve for homes as well.
yeah, exactly. Your like you said, your home, your environment. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, honestly, it's very real. Like you said, it's a big mirror. I mean, what's going on right now here in the United States in the LA area? I mean, so
Yeah.
our thoughts are to everybody that's literally lost what you just said, their homes to
Yeah,
literally a
absolutely.
fire.
Yeah.
This theme of fire and ash, those people are actually going to really live it this year. Having to
Mm.
build up again from the ground
That's
up
so
from the
true.
ashes.
No,
So
it's gonna be
it's very
really,
timely.
really significant.
Yes. And back to that exact quote he says from the voiceover. So this is a exact quote we're gonna hear in that initial voiceover, which is awesome. The fire of hate gives way to the ash of grief. That's a crazy good line.
I'm letting that one sink in a little bit. That's wow. That's beautiful.
I wonder if that initially means, obviously the first thing you want to do is lash out. He kind of even gives the example, in the
Hmm.
traditional movies, that's what they do. You become a one man army, kind of lash out to everybody that's wronged you. But it
Yeah.
maybe means that all it is, what's left at the end of that, all it was just grief. It was a way that you handled grief. Maybe it wasn't the perfect way. So maybe we'll see some characters with what happened to Nethiam, as he said, this is going to be character centric. Maybe some
Mm-hmm.
don't initially deal with it right. Maybe it's all hatred and lashing out, but at the end of the day, all it was like it was
Pain.
just grief, pain. So
I
it's
actually have some thoughts about Parang on this as well, but we can dissect that after.
okay.
But I think grief may relate to her too.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue here.